My daughter 17 asked me to post this here. And I'm the dad who does as the women in my life tell me, which is how I ended up in a restaurant tonight with snobs. So the characters, my wife, wife's coworker 1, and her husband arrogant engineer 1, arrogant engineer 1, wife's coworker 2 and her husband my certified public accountant, and lastly arrogant engineer 2 and his wife. Each couple has 2 teenage children with us. We are at a Japanese steakhouse in America where the chefs cook in front of you. Coworker 1 and arrogant engineer 1 invited all of us for their youngest daughter's birthday, since their daughter is close with our daughter. So the parents are at one table and the teens at another. At the teen table my daughters, 17 and 14, order sushi appetizers, mocktails, and shrimp with scallops. At our table the sake is flowing along with a few top-shelf drinks. My wife and I order our appetizers, drinks, and dinners. We are all paying for ourselves and I see arrogant engineer 1 and arrogant engineer 2 seem to in competition for who can spend the most. My certified public accountant and I chuckle at them and stay out of the fray. Until arrogant engineer 2 hears my daughter order and says to her, "Careful now, your daddy is only an agricultural engineer. He doesn't make as much as us real engineers." For context, they are structural engineers with bachelor degrees. I'm an agricultural engineer with a PhD. I work for governments, private investors, and several agro corporations. I own my own consulting firm. I help build sustainable, reusable gardens. And this work allows me to travel to poorer countries and help them use what they have to start growing their own food. Apparently these men thought all I did was travel to impoverished places and teach people to dig in the dirt. They believed I did all this work for free and therefore made very little money. I'm not rich by any stretch, but I'm comfortable. We don't do extravagance, so we have savings and my wife works. However, in 2023 I was awarded a handsome contract to design tower gardens in several states. It's a 7-figure contract over 3 years. Back to dinner. These guys ask me about the most ridiculous things. Like, is it good to grow onions and carrots in the same garden? And were laughing at me and my work until their wives told them to stop. I chalk it up to drunken arrogance and don't even bother to answer. My certified public accountant was laughing so hard he almost fell out of his chair. Apparently, he is arrogant engineer 1's certified public accountant as well, and knows the ins and outs of both our finances. Arrogant engineer 1 taunts certified public accountant to tell the table what he brought home last year after bonuses. Certified public accountant pulled up the figures on the phone and tells us, "It's about 1/3 of what I brought home in 2023. The certified public accountant says, "I have yours up, want me to share?" I decline, and he nods. Cue another round of taunts. I go to the restroom and find the waiter. I pay for the whole check and leave a generous tip on top of what they added for a big party. After our sober, the waiter thanks me in front of everyone for the tip and wishes everyone a good night. Arrogant engineer 1 and arrogant engineer 2 stare at me for a moment. I smile, nod, and tell certified public accountant to tell them my income last year, after which I simply said good night. Petty, absolutely gratifying, damn right. Comment by user. Talking about how much one makes in that manner is gauche. Those guys are fucking morons. Reply by original poster. Man, we all were tonight. I was just as much a jerk as they were. But I got the last laugh. Comment by user. When I was an ignorant teenager trying to figure out what to major in, my dad asked what I thought about agriculture engineering. I made some joke comparing it to sanitation engineering, ignorance squared, after which I learned that my dad had majored in it, ignorance cubed, before the army had put him on the computer science path for his master's degree. My dad set me straight. Reply by original poster. I've heard the jokes. I like my job. It's fun to work with plants, water, sun, and make it all combine to produce food. But I'm a nerd like that. Comment by user. Definitely engineer. Doesn't believe in paragraphs. Reply by original poster. Hey, you are not wrong. Comment by user. Even if comps were all equal, you protect the food supply where they follow a rule book written by smarter PEs and say, yes, this wall meets code and probably won't fall down. Laughing my ass off, good on you for putting them in their place, OP. Reply by original poster. In all honesty, I was going to ask arrogant engineer 1 to look at a structural design and bring him in on the contract. I do need a structural engineer for this project, but not that guy. Comment by user. Just make sure they always address you as doctor every single time. A real doctor, not just a medical one. Reply by original poster. Now that would have been even better. Too much sake. I will blame the alcohol this time. Comment by user. Ugh. They sound like horrible company. What douches. Reply by original poster. Things we do for our daughters. Comment by user. My dad worked in agriculture for 35 plus years in sales and marketing, and a bit in product development, running a company on the cutting edge of no-till farming. They did a lot of work with agricultural engineers and scientists. Agricultural engineers absolutely are engineers, and the level of precision and science in farming these days is mind-blowing. But everyone still thinks it's just throwing some cow shit in a field and dropping a few seeds on it. Reply by original poster. Much respect to your dad. Comment by user. Nice flex. Certified public accountant is a real bro. Reply by original poster. I'll let him know you think so. I think he lost a client tonight. Comment by user. Oh yeah? If you're an engineer, where's your train? Aha. Gotcha. Reply by original poster. Nice. Comment by user. My version of this. I was in a dive bar south of Yellowstone in Montana. I'm a Hispanic person from LA. The bartender woman was ignoring us so much and we ended up sitting in with the band. Me and my friend are both musicians. The band members started buying us drinks. I think we were the best musicians they had seen in years based on how all the drunk construction workers were singing along and having a blast. We got off stage. I tossed a $40 tip to the bartender. Literally tossed. I said, "Thank you for taking such good care of us tonight," and we got the fuck out of there. She looked like an idiot. Deer in the headlight. $40 made me a high roller in that bar. Pathetic. I know I didn't get one over on her, but I think it highlighted her racism. She assumed I wouldn't tip, so I knew I had to over-tip to prove her wrong. Reply by original poster. I hope you looked her dead in the eye. Comment by user. I had someone imply I wasn't a real engineer. To be fair, I'm not by title. I'm a quality engineer with a science degree, a bunch of software engineering experience, and a love of 3D printing and designing which gave me real-world design experience. Anyway, there was an issue with a part on the factory floor, and 2 manufacturing engineers with mechanical engineering degrees are there. I head over to help out. They make quick work of what the issue was. A part was installed clocked a bit and made it difficult to install a cover that was going to interfere with another part. Not a huge deal, but the way the part is installed makes it very costly to fix. The easier solution was to modify the cover opening to fit the part. One of the manufacturing engineers, I'll call John, sees me and says, "Let the real engineers do some work here." He was joking, but it was a bit of shade nonetheless. He takes the cover, compares it to the other parts, and marks up the cover opening for modification. As I'm watching him do this, I notice he doesn't take accurate measurements and that the opening will probably be widened a little too small to work. John is satisfied with his sharp markup of the cover and starts talking to the other manufacturing engineer. I asked, "Can I take a look at the part?" He says sure, so I grab it and quickly grab a tape measure, take a few measurements. John notices what I'm doing and watches. I modify his markup by about 5 to 7 millimeters and handed it back to him saying something like, "Your markup wasn't wide enough by 5 millimeters, so I modified it. Feel free to use whichever because I'm not a real engineer," and walked off. Reply by original poster. Flex. Respect. Comment by user. Ballpark, what was the number you made last year? We need to know. Reply by original poster. It was the highest I've ever done. Had they asked about 2022 or before, we were closer in numbers. He may have made more than me. Comment by user. The structural engineers found out that their assumptions were without any foundation. Reply by original poster. Nice. Comment by user. Ah, the old engineer that owns his own consulting firm but isn't rich ploy. Reply by original poster. They had no idea I own my own firm. They thought I worked for the charity I donate time to every year. Comment by user. I love this. I'm a data engineer with a software engineering undergrad and a CS in computer science. Like you, I own a consulting firm that is small but profitable. I've been in your shoes of being made fun of by classical engineers because I don't have to get licensed and anyone can call themselves a software engineer. One bragged about his salary and government benefits. I make much more and wish I could own them like you do. My wife instead just mentioned something about how my husband hates car payments, so he refuses to buy anything he can't pay for in cash. She just got a new car and they were floored, mainly because they were talking about the challenge of $1,500 per month car payments. Reply by original poster. Now that is a sweet flex. I wish my ride or die would have said something like that. She and her girls refused to engage unless to tell us to hush. Comment by user. I think all engineers sniff their own farts. Reply by original poster. We do actually. Comment by user. Bravo. I thought you were going to say you were a train engineer. GIF. Emote free underscore emotes grin. Reply by original poster. I wanted to be, but my wife only lets me got for 6 weeks a year. Riding the rails, damn, that sounds fun. Comment by user. I'll bet an agricultural engineer couldn't even pay off my $20K credit card debt. Need a real train driver job for that. /s. Worked on dinner, might as well try. Reply by original poster. My wife is loving these responses. You are making her augment strong. HHHHH. Comment by user. Ha, way to stick it to them. By paying their bill. And then disclosing your salary. I know money can't buy class, but you guys didn't have to prove it so thoroughly. Reply by original poster. I know, but we did. Most class-less evening of my life. And I'm okay with that. Comment by user. Yeah, but is it good to grow onions and carrots in the same garden or not? Reply by original poster. GIF. Emote free underscore emotes underscore pack joy. Yeah, it's fine. Comment by user. I wish I'd seen their faces. Reply by original poster. My daughter was pissed she didn't have her phone out. I was shocked there is a 17-year-old in America who didn't have their phone in their hand. But the look was what you imagine, pale, eyes wide, lips tight. It was nice. Comment by user. Hey, that is a really awesome story, but I'm way more interested / impressed by the agriculture. Do you implement aeroponics? Or are these gardens more aesthetic? I really love the idea of greenification of cities. Considering cities put their pollution generation on other counties, I have loved the idea of implementing building projects that consolidated food generation for the surrounding community. Any advice you can give for someone who wants to break into the space? I tried applying to some aeroponics companies, but never got an interview. I have a material science and engineering degree and am working in the green space. Not food growth, batteries. Regardless of if you answer, thank you for pushing forward with food stability. It definitely is a slept-on problem. Reply by original poster. The gardens we are building are not actually in sites but in suburbs that need fresh vegetables locally. Not a lot space in the burbs these days for gardens. Homeowner associations are terrible. I'm got in this business by accident, honestly. I started with a corporate farm that wanted to maximize profit and minimize cost. I hated it, so I listened and started working with smaller farms. Sometimes you have to do the job you hate to find the career you want. Comment by user. I'm not rich by any stretch. Laughing my ass off, you absolutely are though. I'll never understand why rich people insist on pretending they aren't. Reply by original poster. 2023 was good to me and not representative of my earning over my career. Comment by user. I help build sustainable reusable gardens. Are single-use gardens a thing? Reply by original poster. In places with poor soil, yes, they are actually pretty common. Comment by user. Let's get down to the real question. How much was it in 2023 and how big was the bill? Reply by original poster. Daughter, 17. Here, mom said the bill with tip was close to 3K. As for his income, I'm not exactly sure, but mom and I both got new cars. Comment by user. Oh yeah, you sure showed them by, let me see, giving them and their families free meals. Hey, while you're at it, wanna come with me while I shop for a new car? I'll insult your profession and then you can buy me a brand new Mercedes. That'll sure put me in my place. Reply by original poster. Add you to the list of people on my wife's side. I quit. Fine, I got played. Comment by user. You do realize they tricked your dumb ass into paying for the whole night, right? Reply by original poster. My wife and several others on here have made that abundantly clear. Comment by user. Structural engineers aren't usually such twats, lol. We are like the low end of engineering, I thought. I rarely get into what I do with people because not many actually know what it is. Oh, you're an architect? Sure, why not? Smiley face. Reply by original poster. Hey, I have respect for most structural engineers. Without you guys my house would fall in. That 200-story building needs to stand, not fall. All you my friend. Comment by user. Please find a reason for you all go out to dinner again and report back. Reply by original poster. Never. I will never sit down with assholes again. Comment by user. I'm an agricultural engineer with a PhD. Can you talk about your thesis or do you need to preserve your anonymity? Reply by original poster. I am happy to discuss privately in the morning when the sake has worn off. Please leave your story in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to get new update. Thank you.